The views and opinions expressed during this program are entirely those of the show's hosts and do not necessarily reflect those of Rude Rangers Entertainment, its investors, management, advertisers, or staff. Don't sue us, y'all. We don't have any money.
Hey, love bugs. Welcome back again to Dear Daughter. I'm so glad that you joined me again. How have you been doing? I hope everything is well. You just been doing some really great, fantastic things and being great, fantastic beings on this big blue ball. Today, I want to discuss with you when home hurts. I've been seeing a lot, and you guys know I'm a life coach, so I hear a lot. And home has been not a place of support for a lot of people. And they have been very hurt in the confines of their own family. You can see it by interaction socially. You show me a kid that's a bully, I'll show you a kid that either their parent or older sibling is bullying them, because home hurts. And what you learn at home, you take out. So if you don't learn to socialize at home, then when you start school, you don't socialize well. And when you get older and you're in certain circles, you don't socialize well. And then when you're into relationships, you don't interact well because you've been hurt at home. Yes, home is supposed to be a place that nurtures you and comforts you, but some homes are battlefields. You don't even want to walk into the home because there's so much pain. There's so much condemnation. There's name calling. You never can do anything right. You're just not good enough. You should be more like your sister. Or how about the person across the street? It's never that you're looked at as you, for what you do. So you don't even learn who you are. You don't appreciate who you are. You don't embrace who you are. So sometimes we build a different persona that's not anything close to the person we are. A lot of people have strong exteriors, preaching to the choir, because you're trying to cover that softness inside, like a turtle. Your hard shell. And then, a turtle is nothing but soft tissue. If you take away the shell, you can literally squish your turtle with your foot. But once he goes inside of that shell, you can kick it. You can hit it with a hammer, basically. Yeah, you can hit a turtle shell with a hammer. And depending on how old it is, it will not break. And some of you have built a protective shell around you that dynamite wouldn't blow it open. So nobody can get in there. So nobody can love you. Nobody can comfort you because you're so busy protecting yourself. And all these years, you've been building up and building up and building up protective layers. And so even when you want to peek your head out to see exactly what's going on in the world, just like a turtle, you peek out real quick and then you go back real quick because you don't want to chance it. Because home was hurtful to you. And the place that was supposed to comfort you, you found no value, no comfort. So doggone well, this hateful world out here, they're not going to embrace you. So you walk around not interacting. And when you do, it's absolutely horrible. I cannot tell you how many of my life coach clients say to me, I don't know how to stop acting the way I act or reacting the way I react because I have been doing this for so long. You just don't know what I've gone through. You just don't know how I've been hurt. You just don't know how people have treated me. So when I ask, I'm like, who's these people? And it's always the people that have the same DNA as them. So I want to talk to you today about setting the course straight. If you don't have children, start planning what type of parent you will be so that your child will have a comfortable place where they can always feel free. Now check it. Everybody talk about Dwayne Wade and his son, who has now selected his gender as a female. And his son wears dresses, and you can see Dwayne Wade with matching dresses. And people have had so much to say. Well, let's look at it on the other hand. What about the young man that has decided that he wanted to change his gender? And he lives in a house with a father that won't embrace that and feels that if he beats it out of him, he can change him. So would you rather have a parent embrace you? Or would you rather have a parent pummel you to death because they don't understand what you're feeling? We don't talk enough in our homes. And I'm talking to you parents. I'm a parent. I have a daughter. And when I look at all the times that I missed the boat, having the ability to have the door open to talk to her, I just hang my head in shame. You know, we don't get a manual with these children. And the manual we have is what we develop from our parents. I was raised in a household where you did something wrong, you got your butt whipped, you got yelled at, you got screamed on. They didn't care what happened. And even if you wasn't wrong, the fact that they thought you were wrong, you still was going to get it. And I brought that somewhat into my rearing of my daughter. Different children need different things. My daughter, if some of you know her, she presents like I do, very strong. My daughter is very emotional, very sensitive. And when she was younger, just yelling at her would shatter her whole day because I didn't have tools to do anything else. I didn't realize that until she was older. And then I changed the way our dialogue went. I changed the way I would speak to her when angry or disappointed. And trust me, I got a whole lot more out of her than I did when I was yelling and screaming. There's some kids you could yell and scream and it doesn't make a difference. I was one of those kids. I would just tune out. I have a great talent of being able to travel. You could be talking, I'm looking at you, I'm in Aruba, sitting on the beach, chilling with a little skirt on, sunshine, you know, telling the cabana boy, can you please bring me some ginger ale and some cranberry juice and with a twist of lime. But you're standing there yelling, screaming, losing it, and I'm somewhere. But that's just me. When home hurts, when you can't have a conversation that says, I was wrong, I know it. I felt this way. And people, let me tell you something. Feelings are not right or wrong, they're feelings. So when your children come to you from our parents and say, I feel a certain way, you may want to snatch their soul straight out of their body and slam it on the ground. But you can't because those are their feelings. So what we can do as parents is listen. Listen, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak. Listen and hear what they have to say. And sometimes you would be most surprised at their responses. Our home should be healing stations for what happens outside of our home that rips us apart. We should be able to come into our home and have it as an oasis of peace, have it an oasis of learning, an oasis of emotional stability. But instead, a lot of our homes don't support anything I just said. They're a battlefield. You don't know if a stud missile is coming this way and you got to protect yourself, or if there's a knife in your back and you got to pull it out. Battlefields. And I love, they say, home is where the heart is. Really? So, how can your heart survive in a battlefield? How can your heart survive in condemnation? How can your heart survive and beat? And there, the blood of comfortability isn't pumping through your veins. Ladies, let me give you a little tip to those of you that are dating and even those that are married. And you say, well, he doesn't talk to me. Okay, and where's your ear? I've said it, where's your ear? Is your ear in front of your mouth so that you hear something but you're talking through that ear? Or are you listening? And yeah, I can say this very well. I can say this. Many of my relationships were doomed from the beginning because I didn't listen. I didn't listen when homie kept introducing me as, this is my friend Yvonne. This is my friend Yvonne. This is my friend Yvonne. Okay, the first year I could be your friend, but year number 3, I'm no longer your friend. I should have some type of title in this relationship. But that was on me. That wasn't on he. I should have made a boundary. But it comes from what I learned as far as interacting with men. Thank God I was able to get some tools that give me a ability to interact better now. Because if I would have continued on the path I was, oh child, I would never get another date again. And, ultimately marriage, because I'm finally ready to make that step. Wink, 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 wink. But home has to be a place where it's nurturing. So for those of you that are married or even living with someone, your home has to be a place that nurtures him, or he's not going to be there. He's not going to want to be there. You ever hear the old adage, a guy goes where he has the less stress? Well, it's true. And it's not just guys, it's women too. As humans, we go where there's less stress. How many people have changed jobs because that job, even though the money was good, it was just way too much craziness. And you felt that, I got enough crazy in my life. I'm not going to add it just for $1. And you took a job, hands square up. You took a job for less and was happier and performed better. And in less than 6 months, I had a raise that didn't only bring me up to where the job was that I left, but more. I'm the type of person, I can't take it. Because I understand what it is when home hurts. And I want all of you to know that you can change that around. Home is where your heart is, and your head needs to be there too. So when we come back from break, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you can do to turn this around for yourself, not for anybody else. And I'm going to give you a little story too. So you come right back.
Next month, I'll be hosting my 7-day Bold, Fit, and Fabulous Masterclass. There, I'll be sharing tips and strategies that will allow you to begin taking the step that you need to feel and look bold, fit, and fabulous in and out of the office. Are you ready to reclaim your time? Then visit me at thefitterwoman.com and let's get back to the business of you.
Of Long Island Telecom. We are your cellular superstore. We have the best in no-contract cellular on every carrier in the United States. We also do portable MiFi units, home phone service. We could beat your cable company at their own game by providing you very inexpensive TV, and we are a Sirius XM dealer as well. We can create a website for you, give you a special corporate email, and we do credit card processing. 631-833-9679.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Love Bugs, you came back. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for always tuning in. Your support is my encouragement. It helps me do what I do. I thank you. And I love you so much for taking this ride with me. But before we went to break, I was discussing when home hurts and some things you can do to, soothe your own heart. You can't change anybody else, but you can work on you. And I said I was going to give you a story. And this story comes from the Bible, and it was Joseph. Joseph had 11 brothers, but he only shared one brother that was father and mother. His other 10 brothers, they shared a father, and their father was very, very wealthy. So they was walking around here like, who's the wealthy family? It's a wealthy family. Well, whoever you would think about. Oh, okay, Steve Harvey boys. They was walking through here, like that. They was walking through Jerusalem like they went to, they got their degree from University of Jerusalem. And here it is, Joseph, whose mother was the one that his dad loved, literally loved her. Worked 7 years to get sister girl and was fooled by his father-in-law to be and gave him her older sister, Leah. But his heart was for Rachel. So he worked another 7 years for this woman. And after having all of those boys with Leah and handmaidens and everything else, Rachel finally conceived 2 boys, and they were his pick of the litter, to say. And he lavished gifts on them. It's almost like you're sitting at the dinner table and you and your brother always have to share a chicken wing, got split down the middle. But your other siblings get their own chicken wing. I mean, that's a straight up show. This is my favorite. And then he had the nerve to have a gift that he spoke about all the time and said, hey, and his gift was, he was a dreamer. So he said, I keep dreaming about there's 12 stars and they're all around me. So his brothers wasn't no fool. And they was like, Oh, are you trying to say that we're around you and you're the one that's so special? Now, already in their mind, daddy loves you more than us. He treats you better than us. Done gave you this little funky coat. You walk around here like you got a PhD from Jerusalem University, while we only have a high school diploma from Jerusalem High. And you're telling us this. Even his father wasn't happy with his dream. So his 10 other brothers, because his little brother Benjamin had nothing to do with this, plotted to kill him. And then one decided to stand up and say, no, we'll just put him in a pit. Either he'll die from starvation or the animals will kill him, but it won't be on our hand. Oh, like you're innocent. So you see where home hurts? In his own home, he couldn't even dream. He couldn't even dream about his greatness because his siblings, his other brothers, his half-brothers to say, were jealous of him. They were jealous. And they left him to die. Well, long story short, he became number 2 man in Egypt, and there was a famine. And his father told his brothers that were left at home, go to the king and petition and tell him we're starving out here. We're starving. He's got to help us. Almost like somebody going to the Department of Social Service saying, hey, listen, I had money before, but right now I'm not doing well and I need help. So they go and they ask to speak to the man that could help them in this famine. And as they stood before him, they had no idea who they was talking to. But the person they were talking to knew, and that was their brother Joseph. The Bible says he excused himself and went in a back room and wept until his bowels released. Do you know how hard you have to cry for your bowels to let loose? And it was the pain of, these are my brothers. They plotted to kill me. They left me for dead. I went through so much hell before I got here. And now they stand before me and they don't even know me. And they're asking me to save them. Now, the reason why I know the story so much is because my pastors have sent me to this book twice. And I came away from reading the book and the story about Joseph saying, there still would be blood running in the streets. Y'all pray for me. God help my heart. Really. I'm getting better. I'm understanding the story better. But he wiped his face out. He came out. And, long story short again, he helped them. He helped them. They didn't even know who he was. He helped them. He wanted to see his little brother so bad. He said, okay, bring your little brother back and I'll give you what you want. He helped them. He said, okay, bring your daddy back and I'll give you what you want. And they brought his father, and then he revealed who he was to them. And I'm quite sure not only were they like, oh, he lived, but look how well he's living. We had to come to him to beg to help us because we're starving. It's a famine. So I'll say to you, whoever that has your DNA that is telling you that you're nothing, you're never going to make it. The only reason why they tell you that is because they see in you a star and they can't handle it. When home hurts, how do you deal with that pain? Well, I'll tell you. You have to start with your head first. And you have to put your mental place where you'll always be at peace with you no matter what happens. No matter what's said to you, you're at peace with who you are. You're never going to be anybody you hit it with, and someday I'm going to be somebody great. You're never going to do anything you hit it with, I'm going to do great things. When people want to compare you to other people, you can stop them and say, you're absolutely right. They're wonderful. And you can add, if you're brave enough, so am I, so I don't have to be like that. Let's see if you're brave enough. If not, just stop at, you're absolutely right, they're a wonderful person. Because the one thing, the person who wants to beat you down, if you agree with them, they have nothing else to say. Nothing else. Nothing else. Once you have started changing around your narrative, what someone says to you, you're not, and you mentally tell yourself you are and that and more. When you take someone trying to compare you and not allowing them to, and then saying, you know, they are who they are and I am who I am and who I am is okay. Then you have to make some boundaries. There's some people that you just can't be around. I don't care if they have your DNA. They do not have a pass key to rip your life apart. And that's why a lot of time home hurts and people can't get over it, because they realize there's boundaries that should be had and you're not putting them into place, people. If there's someone that's always coming at you negatively and you don't have to be around them, then don't. Oh, come on, Yvonne. Thanksgiving dinner, that cousin comes in. Guess what? You can go right upstairs, especially if dinner's already done. Go upstairs, go outside, go in the living room. When they start talking that yang yang, hey, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. And remove yourself from the area. That's how you keep peace in your mind. It's all about you and how you deal with the situation so that you can be stable. You have to have stability. You have to have it, or it's going to drive you crazy. Absolutely. When you have people that have your same DNA, try to rip apart your infrastructure, everything, who you are, they have something to say about it, and it's always derogatory, and it's always something done to hurt you. It could be something as simple as you collect, let's say, magazines, and you come home and your magazines are in the garbage. It makes no sense to say, who threw my magazines in the garbage? Because now there's a big old argument. Just fish your magazines out the garbage, salvage what you can salvage, and find a safe place for your magazines where they won't be found, they won't be destroyed. Again, it's all about you having peace in the place where you live. If you happen not to live around those that share your DNA and, you're just having conflict, then you have to set the boundary of how much time you're going to be around them, if you're going to be around them at all. And don't let people tell you, well, we're family. People use that one line to control you, beat you over the head, and make you feel shame and guilt. I'm going to tell you, DNA doesn't make you family, love does. I have friends that are closer to me than people that I share DNA with. That support me, that comfort me, that encourage me. I'm transparent, y'all know that. I've spent my life, people always trying to compare me to other people. Because as a human in my family sector, I'm just so far left. So y'all see me up here, I'm calm, got my little glasses on, my purple hair, my lipstick, my shirt to match. But really, I'm really far, far left from anyone in my family. My parents, my mother still looks at me, shakes her head, says, "Child, where you come from?" Because I don't fit into the status quo. And it used to bother me that I was always compared to other people. But the thing I will leave you with is I want you to grow and know in who you are. Embrace yourself, love yourself, and do not ever deviate from who you are. Because you were made that way for a purpose on this earth to give somebody exactly what you got. So until next time, love bugs. Hugs, kisses, smooches, and daps. I'm going to say that again. Hugs, kisses, smooches, and daps. I love you, and I can't wait to be with you again. Ooh, love bugs. Yeah, before we really get out of here, I'm sorry. You see my lips? This is Fuchsia by Vera Moore Cosmetics. When I tell you I love her lip glosses, they stay on, they're nice, they're creamy, they're full coverage. And I'm going to give you a secret. I lined my lips with black. And then I just kept smudging and just blending, and it gave me this rich color. Now, back in the day, y'all was lining your lips with that black. Don't do that unless you're going to definitely blend it in so that it could be a rich color. So y'all go on over to Vera Moore Cosmetics, use the code DWD and get your discount.